Hello there, Star Wars fans. Thank you for tuning in to your favorite intergalactic frequency. Ahsoka Season 2 is coming next year, and there is so much to still break down and theorize about. Today I'm going to be going over more of the leaks and rumors from Ahsoka Season 2 that I started talking about in my last video, as well as share some more of my theories and final thoughts on what we have been hearing for this show. So before we get into it, this is your potential spoiler warning.
This is where the fun begins.
So in my last video on this, I talked a lot about the Mortis gods, the Ones, Abeloth, Anakin, and my theories about what's to come regarding all of them. In this video, I want to discuss the rumors and leaks we have heard pertaining more to the main galaxy, Thrawn, the New Republic, the Nightsisters, and Ezra. So to get right into it, it is being reported that there will be a big battle between Thrawn and the New Republic. More specifically, Admiral Akbar. It is said to be inspired by the battles from the Heir to the Empire trilogy. So pulling from the famous Legends Thrawn trilogy is what I think we are going to see more of for the main galaxy. And that has been something many of us Legends lovers have speculated with the Mandoverse under Dave, pulling from the Heir to the Empire trilogy for the major conflicts post Return of the Jedi and before The Force Awakens. It's been commented on many times that so many of us believe Dave Filoni's untitled film is going to be Heir to the Empire, or at least something adapted from those novels into canon. Thrawn and the Imperial remnants versus the young, still building New Republic. We've already seen the Shadow Council in Mando Season 3, and know they have been waiting for Thrawn to return. Now with Thrawn back, it seems their expansion is imminent. We've also seen Mount Tantiss in the Bad Batch, and that was key in the Thrawn trilogy, being the Emperor's #1 storehouse and scientific center for research, so they might bring that in at some point into live action. But of course, if Dave does bring in the Heir to the Empire storyline into the new canon, it will be much different. I don't anticipate the Dark Jedi clone George Sabayoth, Mara Jade, some other characters, the Lost Fleet, or even the Yalsel Mari. I mean, Dave can take a totally different direction. We have many other new characters in the Mandoverse that could take on some of the roles of the Legends ones. Not what I'm hoping for, but what I think is most likely. And speaking of most likely, we now know what Dathomir is most likely going to look like. Star Wars Meg just talked about this in some of her recent videos. From an account, a new scooper called Morai Messenger, we see how Dathomir is being depicted. They say a glamorous soundstage was constructed with multiple levels and sections. It will look like Dathomir as it did in Jedi Fallen Order, red hue and all. And the source also reports that Ezra, Chopper, and Hera will venture there and encounter something that will be added via CGI in post. We are told that there will be battles with the Great Mothers and other beings of nightsister origin. Now I'm hearing more about the Great Mothers and Dathomir playing a role for Thrawn's plans. We know the Great Mothers are with him and he has arrived on Dathomir. If Dave is pulling inspiration from the Thrawn trilogy, I'm speculating that the Great Mothers will serve as stand-ins for George Sabayoth and the Yalsel Mari. For those of you who don't know, George Sabayoth was a clone of a Jedi of the same name, just a slight difference in spelling. The clone is known as the Jedi in the novel, but he is a Dark Jedi. He was appointed by the Emperor to be the Lord of Mount Tantiss, to guard it. And real simply, he's insane. His mind has been twisted due to being a clone and due to old age. He was powerful, but wanted to expand his power. He was starved for an apprentice, or apprentices, and had his own goals, despite what Thrawn wanted. And one of the ways Thrawn kept Sabayoth in check was by utilizing the force-repelling organisms known as the Yalsel Mari. These are lizard-like beings that eliminate or repel the Force. Truly a unique ability in the Star Wars galaxy. Within a certain radius around the Yalsel Mari, the Force is gone. Force wielders aren't able to use, connect, or feel the Force if they are within a close enough proximity. So Thrawn used them as shields more or less, and personally I love to see them, but I am doubtful. So maybe the Great Mothers will be able to play a similar role. With their immense powers, they might be able to be both Thrawn's Force/magic using attack dogs, like Sabayoth, and shields from the Force like the Yalsel Mari. But something in my head is telling me that there is potentially even more that the Great Mothers are going to do, more of a role they might play in regards to the Force. So this comes from rumors around the potential inclusion of the Zeffo in Ahsoka Season 2, or at least something further mentioning them in the show. Now we already had a Zeffo Easter egg in Season 1 in Peridea at the Great Mother Stronghold. Written on the outside of the walls of the castle, the old Sith language inscriptions mention the Zeffo sage Kujet. And what is truly interesting is that this is the same Zeffo sage that is buried on Dathomir in Jedi Fallen Order. Kujet was known to be one of the main Zeffo leaders, which was called the Sage, who fell to the dark side and established his own home on Dathomir. So there is something between the Nightsisters and the Zeffo. Both are tied to the Force dating back to before the Jedi Order, and both have used Peridea and Dathomir as a home base. something to dig deeper into one day, and I really look forward to doing that. I also will one day make a video breaking down the Zeffo and everything we know about them, but to gloss over who they are some of the first, if not the first, Force wielders and students of the Force in the Star Wars galaxy from the new canon. We've even seen an ancient Zeffo beast in the Bad Batch, a technological kaiju-like beast that was awoken. Very powerful and very old, but with technology still thousands of years ahead of its time, arguably still more advanced in the current Star Wars galaxy. And we might see something similar in Season 2. Some more concept art came out that shows our protagonist encountering this technological beast, something like what we saw in the Bad Batch, and it seems to be at a spot of some sort around an ancient temple. Just another nod to the Zeffo in my opinion, and the history that we still need to unravel about them and the Force. And recently I was watching Thor Skywalker and his wife Naboo on their joint channel, and they were talking about a rumor from a while back where for Jedi Survivor, the Zeffo plot from Fallen Order was apparently halted by Filoni because he wanted to use the Zeffo in the future. So that's why the Zeffo were not utilized in the video game franchise's sequel. But now guys, I want to share something that I'm very excited about, and it might be due to some theory crafting in my mind, but that's what makes this fun. So according to Dave Filoni at Star Wars Celebration in Japan, someone has been watching Sabine's Lothcat, and we will be seeing her Lothcat again, along with some more of them. So to me, this means that we are going back to Lothal. And the way I see it, this is important because it could have Ezra tied into the events on Peridea via the World Between Worlds. Lothal is the home to the Jedi Temple we saw in Rebels that was an entrance to the World Between Worlds. If you recall, the outside of the temple depicted the Ones of Mortis, extremely powerful Force gods that were seen in the Clone Wars. I talked about them in my previous video, so go check that out, but I will also do a deeper dive on them in the future. The depiction of the ones outside the Lothal temple actually led to the opening of a portal to the World Between Worlds. So this confirmed that there is a connection between the Mortis gods and the World Between Worlds, and Ezra was able to access it. Now, for my theory, I think Ezra will somehow utilize the World Between Worlds to bring some of the characters stuck on Peridea back to the main galaxy. As of right now, there is no Ahsoka Season 3, and I think this will be the final season of Ahsoka. Anything that happens during this era will be picked up on in other projects. So the way I see it, characters and storylines stuck on Peridea will either have to end there or come back to the main galaxy by the end of the season. While we're not sure of where this season will go entirely, I am certain some characters will make their way home. And for this, I am thinking of Sabine, Huyang, and Shin. In another theory I have, I think Baylan and Ahsoka are tied to Abeloth, Anakin, and the Ones, and they might be tied to Peridea going forward. But with Ezra's connection to the World Between Worlds, as we saw in Rebels, the show going back to Lothal, where the Jedi Temple is, and with Sabine still being on Peridea, I think Ezra will help bring her back, maybe others by accessing the World Between Worlds and connecting the two galaxies. I'm not sure they will utilize the Purrgil again, and to be honest, I don't see a storyline where those in the main galaxy go all the way to Peridea. Especially with Thrawn now back in the main galaxy, there's just too much going on for them to pull off a rescue mission. Using the World Between Worlds to bring back those on Peridea actually makes the most sense, or at least would be something cool that can be more useful about the World Between Worlds. All the pieces are in place. Ezra, the Temple, the Ones, and 2 planets that are connected with all of those. And this brings me to one of my last few leaks and rumors about Season 2. Disney could still it up. Sorry for my language, but honestly, that's the best way to put it. According to others who have commented on these leaks and have sources, as well as information I have heard personally from people who know people who are close to the project, they filmed a lot of good stuff. A lot of the sweaty, nerdy Force lore and concepts. Dave went all in on this, and there's truly so much that can happen. It makes these leaks and rumors seem less far-fetched, and yes, those who are close to the project have confirmed much of what I discussed in this video and in my last were all filmed. But those sources have commented that the suits can still it up. If the suits come in and meddle too much with the show, it could all be wiped away. And looking at the news as of late about Iger shooting down the Ben Solo movie and the apparent information about Iger's hate for the prequels and George's stuff, I wouldn't be shocked to see this season watered down, cut out the deep sweaty Force lore, and just become corporate fluff. Another video for another time, but there's a major conversation to be had about the corporatization of Star Wars and how Star Wars is treated by the House of Mouse. But on a brighter note, there have been good insights on other details of Season 2 from some of those who have worked on it directly. A few weeks ago, Bryce Dallas Howard shared some information about what's to come. She directed 2 episodes for the upcoming season, and I'm very excited for her episodes. She did great with her episodes in The Mandalorian, and she is truly a huge fan that just understands how this franchise should be handled. At LA Comic Con, she said, It is beautiful, it is thrilling, it is adventurous, it is romantic. It's all the things that you want from an epic story. I just got to finish that up and I am working on the cut, and it's just one of the greatest privileges and joys of my life, getting to play in that sandbox. It sounds like they went all out for this and she's very excited. She also shared that they acquired the cinematographer from Rogue One. After criticisms in Season 1 for the color grading and quality of some scenes, I am happy Ahsoka Season 2 is getting the same visual quality that Rogue One accomplished. Bryce also shared that they shot on more on-site locations this time around, which to me is always a plus. It just seems that over the years, the quality of the volume, which was used so well in Mando Season 1 for example, has dipped, or at least it's not being utilized in the best ways possible. So I'm so happy that we are getting more on-site shots. But lastly, she explained all the episodes will be between 45 minutes and 60 minutes long. Thank God. Some of you who follow the channel will know that I hate the Disney Plus streaming format. Not enough episodes, episodes of varying length, sometimes abysmally short, and with a lack of structure that makes the stories paced awfully and very underwhelming. Hearing this, however, is a breath of fresh air. There's a lot of story to tell, and this means we are in for the long haul. However, I'm here for it. Yes, I am cautiously optimistic about this. I mean, how can you not be at this point? I know others are checked out by now, but thanks to this channel, I am holding on. I'm excited for this new season. To be honest, these leaks and rumors have garnered hope in me. There is so much potential, and even Season 1 had glimmers of good quality. Baylan and Shin, Episode 6, the concept of the Clone Wars flashbacks, Anakin, the Zeffo Easter eggs, and the Mortis gods. Now it's time for Dave to pull it all together in a better way and stick the landing. And if he does, this is the direction I want for Star Wars. This is the vein of content I want to expand on. But enough of that. I want to hear what you guys think, because that is all for today from your favorite galaxy far, far away. So many leaks and rumors. Do you guys like these? What do you think of some of my theories as well? Dumb, smart, or at least somewhat interesting? Let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's going on in the Star Wars galaxy. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Always.
Another happy landing.